Kerry Washington, who's been the leading lady in 2 Oscar award-winning movies, has found it difficult to take the lead in her own life and has had to resort to binge eating and compulsive exercise to feel in control, and that almost led to her killing herself. Everyone just automatically thinks that because you're a celebrity, you should have a perfect life. You know, no drama, no disease, no mental or emotional breakdown. It's almost like you become almost godlike and can do no wrong. And people might think that because most celebrities find it hard to come forward and share their struggles. Over the years, eating disorders have become a major issue, and celebrities are even coming out to share their struggles. One celebrity who's been vocal is Kerry Washington, who just released her new memoir, and in it, she talked about her struggle with eating disorders and how she became suicidal. So what caused the actress to develop an eating disorder? How did she deal with it? And does she still have an eating disorder? Well, let's get into the video to find out. Kerry Washington is known to be very private about her life, so you must imagine the shock fans received when she had a sit-down with Robin Roberts and openly talked about her personal struggle with compulsive exercise and eating till she passed out.
Behavior was tiny little acts of trying to destroy myself.
She gave in-depth details about her eating disorder during a sit-down interview with Robin Roberts for a 2020 special airing on Sunday. Kerry Washington talked about how she contemplated suicide at the height of the disorder and was trying to destroy herself. The actress read out an excerpt from her new memoir, Thicker Than Water, which came out September 26th, and shared that by the time she went to college, her relationship with food and her body had gone into a toxic cycle of self-abuse.
I could feel how the abuse was a way to really hurt myself, as if I didn't want to be here. Like, it scared me that I could want to not be here because I was in so much pain.
When Robert asked if she considered suicide, she said yes, that she did consider suicide because the entire toxic cycle of self-abuse utilized the tools of starvation, binge eating, body obsession, and compulsive exercise. She further admitted that she prayed for help with her eating disorder because the condition got out of her control and she managed to maintain her perfect girl image to the outside world.
Like, the first time that I actually got on my knees and prayed to some power greater than myself to say, like, I can't do this, I need some help, was with my eating disorder.
It seemed the actress must have been so good at playing the role of a perfect person. But then again, she is an actress, because over the years, no one even suspected that anything was wrong with her.
I was good at performing perfect. I was good at control. I could party all night and drink and smoke and still show up and, you know, have good grades. And I knew how to manage. I was so high functioning. And the food took me out. Like, the body dysmorphia, the body hatred, it was beyond my control and really led me to feeling like I need help from somebody and something bigger than me, or I am in trouble because I don't know how to live with this.
But she must be in a better place now for her to be able to come out and share this story with us. That means she's dealing with her eating disorder, and she admitted to it, but although she said she still has to check herself.
Say that I never act out with food, it's just very different now. It's not to the extreme. There's no suicidal ideation. That is not where I am anymore. But I know, like, oh, I'm really in this chocolate today. This is good information for me. The bottom has gotten a lot higher, where just like a little discomfort with it is enough for me to know that this is a way to check myself. But it definitely looks a lot healthier. It's a lot easier. It's a lot saner than it used to be.
And we all know that Kerry Washington is a very private person, but it seems like to her that now is the right time to share her story. Not because she's doing it for fame, but because there is a purpose.
I've never wanted to share my private life for the sake of fame or for the sake of attention.
But this wasn't the first time she admitted to having struggles with food. In 2020, during an interview with Essence magazine, she admitted that she had an eating disorder and what she described as an abusive relationship with food and exercise, which was compulsive overeating followed by endless workouts. Kerry Washington would hide in her dorm room and just pig out. She would binge on whole pizzas, pints of ice cream, entire jars of peanut butter, and a plate of fries. She would eat anything in sight and just could not seem to stop herself. I used food as a way to cope. It was my best friend. I would eat anything and everything until I passed out. But But then because I had this personality that was driven towards perfectionism, I would tell people I was at the library, but instead go to the gym and exercise for hours and hours and hours. Keeping my behavior a secret was painful and isolating. There was a lot of shame and guilt. After a while, Kerry Washington finally sought help after her dance instructor noticed something was wrong with her and approached her. The mother of three admitted that she started therapy, and thankfully, that has had a huge impact on her life. And she stopped ever since she started. I started therapy, which I still do today. I see a nutritionist and I meditate. Learning how to love myself and my body is a lifelong process, but I definitely do not struggle the way I used to. Therapy helped me realize that maybe it's okay for me to communicate my feelings. Instead of literally stuffing them down with food, maybe it's okay for me to express myself. At that time, she had just ended things with her then fiancé, whom she had lived with for 5 years. That period was all about speaking her mind and being expressive, and she was being optimistic. And even in the face of the breakup, she even shut down rumors that the split had nothing to do with race. But not only did the actress battle with an eating disorder, but she also had to deal with panic attacks from the age of 7. An excerpt from her memoir that was published on Oprah Daily revealed that Kerry developed panic attacks at night from hearing her parents argue. "I was dizzied with terror. No ground beneath me. It was crazy-making, endless, and sad. There was something so sad about the rhythm, and I couldn't make it stop. I could not sleep. It was as though the alarms within me had been triggered, and there was no turning off." Although she did not have panic attacks every night, she trembled at the possibility of them. Lying in bed, I would race to fall asleep before the sounds would leak from my bones. I would force myself to try to have good thoughts. I hated that rhythm came within me. I hated that my own brain was not to be trusted. If I lost the trace to sleep and got caught by the rhythm, I had no tools to escape it. No way of controlling my own brain as it conspired against me. She went further to share that she tried so hard to be a good girl and help her parents get along with each other, which in turn would provide emotional support for her. In the memoir, she goes into how she faced several challenges and setbacks, how she effectively hit her childhood traumas, met extraordinary mentors, grew her career, and entered into stardom. Writing a memoir is by far the most deeply personal project I've ever taken on. I hope that readers will receive it with open hearts, and I pray that it offers new insights and perspectives and invites people into deeper compassion for themselves and others. But we are happy that Kerry Washington has managed to overcome all those struggles, and she's in a better place today. She's happily married to former NBA star Nnamdi Asomugha, and their parents to 2 children. She's also a stepmom to Nnamdi's teenage daughter from a previous relationship, and her life is seemingly better, which we're most happy about. I think Kerry Washington is very brave, and we can all relate to her experiences. So tell me, what do you think? Leave your comments down below.